as you know, I am chatting with Fernanda Alberici. Fernanda is a digital marketing strategist, Facebook ads expert, and the CEO of Fab Marketing. Fernanda works with service-based and e-commerce businesses who want to stand out online, attract a consistent influx of leads and customers, and grow a successful business without burnout. Today, she's discussing how you can use Facebook and Instagram advertising to build momentum, generate a wait list of clients, make a truckload of sales, and become the go-to person in your niche. And the best part is that you don't need a big budget. She will show you how a little bit can go a long way in growing your sales online and why right now is the best time to start. So without further ado, I'll hand it on over to you.
Thank you so much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen and then I will introduce myself. Wasn't expecting all that open today, but there you go. Can you see it? I hope everyone can see it. So I'm just going to put in a slideshow. There. I would love just to hear if everyone can see my screen. All right.
It's looking good. We can see your screen.
Okay, good. Just to double check. Now, fantastic. So today we're talking about, as Kate just introduced, how to harness the power of Facebook ads to grow your business. Now, here, there. So just a little bit about me so you know why you are listening to me. There. So my name is Fernanda. I'm a marketing strategist and Facebook ads expert with 15 years experience in corporate and also small business marketing. I work with services and e-commerce businesses to attract more leads, make more sales through digital marketing strategies and Facebook ads. I've helped many business owners to stop the feast and famine cycle, to attract a steady flow of leads and customers, to grow and expand their business. Now, I'm originally from Brazil. You notice I have an accent. My family, however, is Italian. That's why Fernanda Alberici quite sounds Italian. I call Australia home, however, since 2005. I've studied international trade along with 3 foreign languages and a master's of marketing here in Melbourne, in fact, at Deakin University. I worked in exports for multinational companies before I moved to sales, marketing, and events, which is truly where my passion lies. Now, I started Fab Marketing after starting a family, after having my first baby, to help other women build a life of freedom, purpose, and profit. Now, I'm also a speaker, blogger, and vlogger, if that's a thing nowadays. And I speak at events online or in person in Australia. But I don't just speak about Facebook ads. I don't just teach Facebook ads. I actually do it. I'm a Facebook ads manager, and I work with clients every single day to produce amazing results for their businesses. So what I'm going to share here with you today isn't theory, isn't something that I just learn and now I teach. It's something that I get paid to do every day. It's my job. So I know those strategies work because I apply them to businesses on a daily basis. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You can think about it and then you can tell me later. No more low-hanging fruit coming to your business. You're running out of past clients, referrals, etc. You don't see enough people booking a call with you or leads coming through the doors. So at some point that happens to every single small business. You're getting price shoppers. Everyone who contacts you are shopping for the lowest prices. So you send out quotes and you hear crickets. Do you worry where your next prospects, clients, or sales are going to come from? So if you are in e-commerce, you're not selling as much as you would like to, and you're having to constantly discount, running sale after sale after sale, while your profit margins go down. So the answer is simple. If you're not generating the amount of revenue that you want each month, you may have one or more of the following problems. You have low traffic, low conversions, no email list or an underused email list, not enough qualified leads, and no digital marketing strategy. Now, these are all very common things. You're not alone. Because most small businesses depend purely on organic social media and word of mouth. Now, the problem is you have no control over either. Social media algorithm restricts your reach dramatically, and word of mouth is on the hands of other people. So why Facebook and Instagram ads instead? Facebook has over 2 billion monthly active users worldwide, 50 million monthly active users in Australia. And Instagram has over 1 billion monthly active users worldwide, 9 million monthly active users in Australia. Now, Facebook business page posts have an average of 2% organic reach. So that means that when you post organically on Facebook, about 2% of your followers actually see what you post. So if you have 1,000 followers, that equals to around 20 people. Instagram posts are a little bit better. That's about 7% organic reach. But we're still talking about 70 people if you have 1,000 followers. So why getting so many followers if only so few are seeing what you post, right? Now, what I love about Facebook ads is that it allows you to get in front of the right people at the right time. So you never have to worry about where your next customer is coming from. Are they going to see your posts on social media? You can generate as many leads and sales as you want at a predictable cost. Now, Facebook and Instagram ads produce predictable return on investment. And I will show you why that is predictable. Now, for every dollar you pay, you can get back 3, 5, 20 in return, right? Now, your cost, as I said, can be easily calculated. It's not guessed. The cost of client acquisition, therefore, becomes predictable. And you can start planning, forecasting, and really having a clear path to grow your business. Because then you have control over how many leads and how many sales you will get and how much you're going to pay for that. So here are some case studies to show you what I'm talking about. Kelly said to me, I wanted to expand my client numbers. I had tried signage and social media, but since running Facebook ads with web marketing, my client numbers have increased by 50%. A year later, I opened a second facility, which paid for itself in just 3 months. Kelly runs a gym in Perth here in Australia, and indeed she opened a second gym in another suburb, which we filled with clients in about 3 months' time. This is Alicia and Aaron. They also run a gym. Now, not all my clients are gym owners. We've invested thousands of dollars with other agencies with no meaningful results. Fernanda was the only person who took us forward. When we followed her advice and ran Facebook ads, we fueled our programs. And that's Sharon. So for years, I've been trying to get my passion hobby into a thriving business. With Fernanda, I'm now doing consistent 5-figure launches, and my passion hobby has become a business. I've never seen results like this, and for the first time ever, I can say I love Facebook ads. Man, do I love it too. But Facebook ads alone will not sell for you. For Facebook ads to work, you need a strategy applied consistently, tested, and improved for a period of time. Okay, it's no magic pill. I am not going to deliver you here. Take this little, this little pill, do this little thing, and it all works magically. You need a strategy that you can rinse and repeat to deliver predictable results. Now, what's holding people back from achieving results like this? So the biggest mistake I see is that most businesses are targeting only 3% of the market. Did you know that only 3% of people landing on your website are ready to buy now? That is your market. The market for your products and your services. That's what it is. 3% are in buying mode. They're ready to buy now. 17% are in information gathering. 20% are problem aware, but they're not even gathering information, let alone ready to buy. And the large slice, which is 60%, are not even aware they have a problem. Now, most businesses compete like crazy for the 3% of the market that's on top of the pyramid. That is their sole focus. And that's why then Facebook becomes expensive and ineffective. And that's also why I hear so many people saying, oh, I tried Facebook ads, but it didn't work for me. But if you are always screaming, hey, buy my stuff, and fighting for that small 3%, then it really becomes very hard to make a profit and for a low cost, right? So if that's what you're doing, you're missing out on 97% of your market. That is a huge slice of the market. So if all your marketing is screaming, buy my stuff, you're only appealing to the smallest, most competitive slice of the market. So this is what I hear all the time, and this is what people ask me to do before I tell them what they should do. They ask me to run Facebook ads to promote an offer, to promote a sale of a product or service to a cold audience. So a cold audience are people who never heard about you before. They never heard about your brand, or they're not familiar with it, they're not in love with it, they definitely do not trust it. So if you go to market and say, hey, contact me, book a call with me to run your Facebook ads, and you never ever heard about this person, chances are you're not really going to do that. You're going to ask other people, or you're going to Google, or you're going to do something else, but you're not going to take action on that person that you never heard about. So what should you do instead to grow your business exponentially, even if you have a small budget? First, take control of your traffic and your sales process. So not just word of mouth and organic social media. Take true control of the traffic to your website. Pay for your traffic. Go, I want to do Facebook ads. Perhaps you can do Google ads as well. Why not? Other sort of source of traffic that is going to send more people, more eyeballs into your website. Now, the second thing is target all different stages of your buyer's journey. Don't just target that 3%, because you can reach a much larger slice of the market and stop competing for the tiny 3%. Now, those are different stages of buyer's journey. You target them with different campaigns. So you don't go to the 17% of people, 20% of people saying, hey, you know, here's my product, or here's my service. But what do those people need from you to then start trusting in your brand and then make a purchase at some point, either now or in the future? Right? So you need to answer those questions. If they're not problem aware, how can you make them aware of the problem? If they are problem aware, but they're not solution aware, how can you make them aware of solution? So you want to plant the seed early in your audience's mind. You want to increase brand awareness. You want to educate your market. You want to become that trusted advisor. You want to make an irresistible offer to draw them in. You don't bombard them with one-off campaign and then disappear, which, let me tell you, is what most people do. You advertise consistently every month. You put your brand in front of people, and then you start building an audience who knows you, like you, and trusts you, and then are ready to buy from you. So they see you all the time, everywhere, in different content, with different content, different ads all over the internet. And those are the brands that we start building a relationship with and we come to love. Okay, so you become front of mind. So I'm going to give you a quick example. At some point, you probably thought to yourself, when I decide to, hire a coach, a business coach, I know who I'm going to hire. I love that lady. There is that person in my mind that I know I'm going to work with her one day. What has this person done? She has put her brand in front of you over and over and over with very educational, very good, powerful content that make you fall in love with what she offers. So when you are at the stage of saying, yes, I want to do this, now is the time for me, that is the person that comes to your mind. An ad from that person who says, hey, I'm opening my program now. Do you want to jump in? And you go, yeah, I do. I want to jump in right now. What people don't do is go, oh, okay, I want to work with a business coach. Who am I going to work with? I just saw this lady on the internet now. I'm going to work with her. Right? So that's how we do it. You start with content, you bring in that market, and then that relationship will evolve. Now, so how do you do it? So number one, you create a sales funnel. So what is a sales funnel? It's how you take people who don't know you from finding you online to becoming paying customers by promoting different content, different ads that target each stage of your buyer's journey. So let's go back to that pyramid. So for example, to the 60% of the market who are not aware of the problem, you can promote what? A very good piece of content, something that makes them aware of the problem. So for example, some businesses might be saying, oh, our sales are down, but maybe it's just this year, we're going through a crisis. Or perhaps someone who's starting hasn't been in business for very long might think, well, maybe that's how it is in the beginning. But perhaps a person like me could go in front of them and say, no, look, what you really need is traffic. If you have thousands of people going to your website, it doesn't matter how new your business is. You're going to have a lot of people looking what you offer, and chances are you're going to make more sales. Oh, so that would be a good piece of content. So for people who are not problem aware, what do? You create another piece of content that makes them problem aware, that makes them solution aware. So this is the solution. If you want to drive traffic to your website, one of the ways to do it is run some Facebook ads. Facebook ads can drive traffic to your website. Awesome. Now, they might be in information gathering. Now I want to take my business to the next level. I know I need to drive traffic. I know Facebook can drive traffic for me. Now, where do I go? Then you can create a lead magnet, something that says, hello, you can download my freebie here, and then you can learn how to do A, B, and C. So those people are now so ready to download a freebie and possibly take the next step as well. Because as they become more and more educated, some people take longer, some people will take a much shorter period of time to make that decision. And then, of course, you also target the 3% of the market with your sales offer. Now, so how does this look like? For example, to a cold audience, you can run a video ad, right? Or a blog post. Now, that cold audience who never heard about you before, now is not cold anymore. They've seen you, they've seen your brand, they know that you have good content. What can you do? You can run another ad with a lead magnet, inviting them to download your freebie or to participate in your challenge or whatever your lead magnet is. So now they are not cold, they look a warm audience. They got to know you a little bit better, right? And now you can have a sales offer and say, hey, I know that you are interested because you read my content, you downloaded my freebie, so why not, contact me, and then we can have a chat and see if we can work together. And lastly, you can retarget that very warm audience who are now hot because they've seen all of those stages, and you can say, hey, I know that you're interested. What about it? Don't you just pop in here? So you can reinforce the offer because we know that people need to see you many times and have many touch points before they make a decision to buy. So for example, this is how on Facebook Ads Manager, how this kind of looks like, okay? It doesn't mean you would use it exactly as it is here, but Facebook itself already gives us a clue of how we should be running our campaigns. So on the first column, this is pretty much a sales funnel, but from the left to the right. So on the first column, you have the awareness stage. So if you want to run a brand awareness campaign, That's roughly where you go. You could go to the second column as well. So on the second column, you have the consideration stage. So that you can run traffic campaigns, engagement campaigns, video view campaigns, and so on. And on the last column is where you have the conversion campaigns. What pretty much is your sales, where you ask people to buy from you. All right. So as you can see, Facebook itself is already showing us how we should run our campaigns. But unfortunately, not many people do that. So I talk about creating a lead magnet to draw your audience in. And that's something that I consider very important to pretty much every industry, whether you work in service or if you have a shop and sell products as well. All right. So create an irresistible lead magnet. A lead magnet is something you give for free in exchange for someone's contact details. So you build your database with suitable prospects. Now, I have to say that a lead magnet doesn't necessarily need to be free. It can also be something of a very low cost. Or, okay, so something that you could charge, let's say, $7 or $27, something that is really quite low to draw people in. All right. Now, lead magnet ideas, if you don't know what to do, it could be a free report, a checklist, a guide, a video, a free training, a discounted trial. So for example, for gyms, you see that all the time, they do a free trial, right? And that's why I say it doesn't always have to be free. Sometimes it could be a very, very discounted trial rather than free, depending on your target market. It could be a free product and it could be a discount, which we all see with e-commerce. A lot of e-commerce offer sign up here for a 10% discount or a $10 discount, right? Now, what you do then is you build trust, because instead of converting 1 or 3% of your traffic landing on your website, you now can convert around 20 to 30% of your traffic into leads and sales. Now, that is a huge difference. If you're converting 1 to 3 and you go from that to converting 20 to 30, it is a massive difference, isn't it? So this is to show you how this works. If you have 100 visitors landing on your website and you have a form that says inquire here, you usually convert around 2%, roughly. Okay, so you're going to end up with 3 inquiries. And from 3 inquiries, 3 people you talk to, you might convert 1 into 1 sale. Now, if instead you have your inquiry form as well, obviously, but you have a lead magnet, you're going to convert more of that traffic. You might still get a 3% contacting you on your inquiry form, but you're going to get another 25% of the traffic subscribing to your lead magnet. And that, when you convert, it's more people for you to convert into sales. You end up with 3 sales instead of 1. Now, this is the same, but on a much bigger scale. So you can see that from 10,000 visitors, you end up with 90 sales in one scenario. But in the next scenario, you end up with 300 sales. And that starts counting a lot. When you look at a business bottom line, the difference between 90 sales and 300 is a huge difference. So again, this is what most people do. And this is what I suggest people to do. This is what I recommend my clients to do. Okay, so you run your Facebook ads, you promote a content, you promote a lead magnet after to the same people. And then you promote your offer. You retarget with your offer again, because many people will need more than 1 touch point to take you up on your offer. And that you're going to end up with many, many more sales than you would otherwise. Now, this is another example of sales funnel, because I know that many businesses are different depending on the industry. So you can run Facebook ads directly to a lead magnet. Yes, sometimes, many times actually works well. Build your database. And sometimes instead of an email sequence, you might have a phone call. So I'm going to use a gym again as an example. If you have a cheat sheet that people can download that helps them, lose weight or with their health or whatever, and they fall into your database, and you ask them for their telephone number and they provide you, you could give them a call and say, hey, would you like to come in for a trial? You can also say, hey, fill out these details here and we will contact you for our free trial. So that's what people do. They go to the page where there is a lead magnet, and then you can contact them via a phone call. Another way to do it is you run Facebook ads. If you don't have a lead magnet, you can run it towards content. So then you have a very good piece of content that goes and make people aware of the problem. And then you have a second piece of content that complements the first. And then you can have your offer. So if you don't have a lead magnet, don't let that hold you back. Most businesses nowadays, you have one or two very good pieces of content that they can put to market, they can advertise in order to bring people in. All right. So now we're going to start analyzing some numbers to get things a little bit more exciting. So this is how Kelly's campaign went. We spent $1,000 inviting people for a trial. 25 people qualified leads opted in the trial. And mind you, that wasn't a free trial, because usually free gyms, you get 100 people qualifying for it, but then they don't join. Now, 20 people of the 25 who went to the trial joined the membership. Of course, because if you actually spend 3 weeks in a gym going through a trial, and that's, you know, of high quality, most likely you're going to join the gym. Now, Kelly's membership is not very cheap. It's a premium membership. It's a premium service that she offers. So she ended up with 20 new members per month. Because again, once you join a gym, you join a gym for the year. Usually you don't join just for a month, right? So what happens is for $1,000 that she spends, she gets $7,000 back per month. Now in a year, that equals $84,000. So even if she didn't run any other campaigns throughout the year, she still made $84,000 that she wouldn't otherwise have made. And so we find that her conversion rate is 80%. Now, with Sharon runs a completely different business. Everything is online. The sales page is online. It's an online course. We all know about them nowadays, right? So she spent $1,000 inviting prospects to a 5-day challenge. That's a lead magnet. Then we spent $1,000 promoting the course to everyone who went through the 5-day challenge. The course is pretty cheap, it's $250. Now, of 1,100 participants in the challenge, 96 people bought. Again, you're not going to ever convert everybody, or not even half of people who opt in to a lead magnet, right? So, but it's still, Sharon ended up with $24,000 in the bank. So she spent $2,000, ended up with a profit of $22,000. That's a 12 times return on her investment. This is an e-commerce example, because perhaps you are in e-commerce, right? So you can see by this graph that we're running about $1,000 budget. We made 326 sales, which equal to $18,000, which is an 18 times return on investment. Now, I like to talk about patterns and predictability, and that's when I say you can grow your business predictably. Because when you focus on testing and improving continuously, you will start seeing patterns, and patterns that you can use to make informed decisions. So, for example, once you start running campaigns and you look into testing and optimizing those campaigns, you're going to start seeing that your conversion rate on your offer, on your landing page, on your sales page, on your website is X. It may be 2%, 2%, 10%, whichever percent. All right. And obviously, you always work towards improving that percentage. However, once you figure that out, then you know that for 10,000 people landing on your website, you're going to make X amount of money. So you start seeing that if I put $1,000, I make $5,000 back, or maybe 10,000 or 20,000. And you can start playing with those numbers, forecasting and predicting. And that's the power of it. So using my clients' examples, if you spend $1,000 and you made 7,000, you can then predict that if you spend 2,000, you make 14, right? And that's the case of Kelly. If you spend 2,000 and you make 24, you can then predict that you're going to make 48 if you spend 4, right? And the same case with the e-commerce business, that if you spend 1K and you made 18, hang on there, what happens if I spend 5K? You could make 90. That's a ton of money. Now, how can you forecast your return on investment? So let's do a quick exercise, because all of this is a lot of numbers and I don't want this to be theory. I want this to be very practical so you can apply it into your business, okay? So what is your conversion rate? How much traffic do you get on your website? Those are figures that it's very important for you to know. So go to your Google Analytics, go to your website and check how much traffic you're getting and what is your conversion rate. How many people are inquiring, subscribing, or purchasing? And then again, that will vary whether you sell products or services, okay? So how can you calculate that? So you calculate by dividing the action that people take, so either subscribe or inquire or purchase, and you divide by the traffic, and that will give you the conversion rate. Okay, so if you have 1,000 people per month landing on your website, and you know that 30 people inquire or subscribe or purchase, once again, if you're selling clothes, then we're talking about purchasing. Okay, so clothes or any products in particular. Then what you do is you get 30 people who either inquire or subscribe or purchase, and you divide by the traffic, which is 1,000. And that will give you a conversion rate of 3%. So now you know that your website converts at 3%. Now, when we look into conversion rates on your website and that conversion into customers, once again, if you have 30 inquiries and you know that for every 30 inquiries you make 9 clients, nine people who actually work with you, then you know that your conversion rate to sale is 30%. So you can start thinking that, okay, if I want 10 new clients a month, I need to get around roughly 30 inquiries on the phone, people talking to me, and to get 30 inquiries, I'm going to need this amount of traffic on my website. And that's when things become predictable, because then you can say, all right, how much do I need to spend on Facebook ads to send that amount of traffic to my website? Let's say I need to spend $2,000. Cool. And I'm going to get 10 clients. Now, if each client pay you around $1,000, you make $10,000 and you spend 2. That's a very good deal for me. Now, how does Facebook ads grow your business exponentially? So if you keep on doing this and you do this every month, you can grow, for example, your subscribers list by 500 a month. So let's say 500 new subscribers per month, you give you around 5 clients perhaps, okay? That is at a 1% conversion rate. It's very conservative. Now, over 12 months period, you have from ads alone, 6,000 people in your database, 6,000 new subscribers. Now, those 6,000 subscribers, even though from 500 people, you're making 5 clients, they are still in your database. They haven't disappeared. They haven't gone anywhere. You haven't lost them. So that means you can continue nurturing the relationship with them, continue selling to them. And those 6,000 people, you also tell other people about you, right? If they love what you're sending to them, if they love your content, if they like to engage with you online, chances are they are going to start recommending you too. And then the 60 clients that you work with throughout the year, that you got 5 clients per month, will also refer you to other people. So then you really start snowballing, because every person who come in contact with your business, that subscribe to your database, who work with you, that relationship didn't finish there. That relationship will keep growing and growing and growing. So you really build momentum and snowball your business to a point where you're really growing at the rate that you want to grow, rather than, you know, just putting a campaign out there trying to make a sale. So let's talk about a few secrets to attracting your ideal customers. So first of all, be very specific in your message. Okay, Facebook is absolutely fantastic because it offers you a lot of targeting capabilities. It's so sophisticated. So a 30 to 50 years old mother doesn't exist, right? You're either talking to, I'm giving some examples here. So you're either talking to a 30 years old woman or 35 who has little children, or you're talking to a 50 years old woman. They are different people. They have different problems. They have different issues or different stresses in their lives. So you need to talk to each of them differently. Okay, so you create different personas and then you speak directly to each one of them. Don't group a ton of people in one audience and target everybody with the same ad, because that's not going to work. Now, do your research. You can target people on Facebook who like certain brands, for example. So you might say, oh, my target market like Prada. You can target people who like Prada. You can target people who like Swarovski. You can target people who like Jenny Craig. You can target people and so on. So with Facebook, you can get really specific about who you're talking to. You can target people who also visited your website or liked you on social media. And you can create lookalike audiences of your best customers. So that's another advantage of having lead magnets and growing a database, because you can import the database into Facebook and then you can create lookalike audiences. Now, on Facebook, you can go to a place called Audience Insights in the Ads Manager. And here you can do a bit of research about your target audience. So you can place here, for example, the country. You can choose the country that you want to target, the age, the gender, and what they like. So you could choose, for example, Richard Branson. My target audience likes Richard Branson. And Facebook is going to open all of these other categories of pages that your audience likes. And then you can think, oh, fantastic. So they also like all these other brands. And now I can target those audiences. So you can make a list and target those audiences for your brand. Now, with your ads, stand out. So talk to your audience. What are their problems? What are their biggest desires? How is your offer different from everyone else? All right. And this is really, really important. This is something that will help you stand out, because most of our businesses nowadays, we do the same as other people. You know, if you are in finance, there are a lot of people in finance. I'm in marketing, there are a lot of people in marketing. So you really need to try to stand out. I'm going to show you an example. Alisa and Aaron run a gym in Perth as well. And we ran 3 completely different campaigns for them. Now, one was specifically for moms wanting to get back to exercise. And I'm referring to moms with young children. So the whole ad, all the copy, all the images, the landing page was talking specifically to those women who had very, very young children and had to go back to exercise or wanted to get back to shape. Now, the other campaign talked to people who have injuries. So a lot of people used to exercise, but they got injured and then they can't exercise anymore. So they have a program specifically for them. And we ran a campaign for golfers wanting to improve their game. So as you can see, each of the campaigns was very different. Initially, when we spoke about all of these campaigns, it was all going to be one campaign, according to the client. But you can't just invite everybody to a trial or to a program that is for everybody. That does not stand out. No, those campaigns, those programs filled out so quickly. So in 3 weeks, they filled out their programs. People they were pouring. They're absolutely pouring. Now, your image is also very important. So your image will stop the scrolling, okay? You have to think about people are on social media and they're scrolling all the time. They're not really interested in stopping and engaging. So you need to use attention-grabbing, contrasting colors that stand out. Now, when I say that, it's not a rule, okay? But I'm giving you some ideas. Real people work really well, and I have tested that. You can use aspirational images as well. So where do your target market want to see themselves? What is the goal? So use that goal to reflect their desires. Use images that show emotions that are very, very powerful. Show what they are going to get as well. So you can have a picture of what they are going to achieve, what they are going to get. And most importantly, test several images. You can test so many images on Facebook. Don't just say, oh, I'm going to try this one, put one there and then run with it. Test several, put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images, run it and let the market tell you which image they respond the best to. Now, while the images drop the scrolling, your copy is what will make people click. So first of all, don't rumble. Okay, go straight to the point. The first sentence of your ad is the most important sentence you can have in an ad. So start with your most punchline, grab the attention immediately. Be clear and to the point. Again, no long paragraphs, no tons of fluff. It's like to the point. Make it benefit outcome driven. So it's very different to say, hey, come here, I have a program that is 3 weeks like this, and you're gonna get that, and you're gonna do this, blah, blah, blah. What you want to say is, once you come to my program, you are going to experience that. That's the outcome. This is what people are interested. They're interested in the benefit that they're gonna have. Have a clear call to action as well, okay? Because it sounds obvious, but it isn't. Now, again, track and measure and improve and then retarget. Because if you don't track and you don't measure, then you don't know what's working. And it's important that you do that. Don't just run a campaign and go, oh, it didn't work. What didn't work? Didn't you get clicks? Didn't you get conversions? What is it? How did it perform? How many people did it reach? How many people clicked on your campaign? Did they go to your website? They did or they didn't? They did. Awesome. Did they take the action you wanted them to take? That's when you need to start looking at things. So then you can determine whether is it your campaign that isn't working, or maybe it's your website that isn't converting. They are two different things, right? Or perhaps it's your offer that wasn't on point with your target market. So one very important thing to do is, if you haven't yet, install your Facebook pixels. Facebook, you can create a pixel on Facebook, and you can grab that pixel and install on your website. So the Facebook pixel is a very basic piece of code that you create on Facebook and install on your website and landing pages. Where do you install it? Everywhere. You install them throughout your website, on your landing pages, on your sales pages, on your thank you pages, because the pixel tracks everyone who interacts with you online on your website. It measures your campaign results. It allows you to remarket to the same people over and over again. So if they go to your website and they don't take the action that you want them to take, you can go after that people again. You can retarget everybody with your content, with your lead magnet, with your offers. So the pixel allows you to do exactly what I am telling you to do here, which is retarget your cold audience, then retarget your warm audience, and then retarget your hot audience. So retargeting, most people need several touch points before they take action, as I've mentioned before. Most of your return on investment will depend on retargeting. And as long as you can retarget people, you won't lose them. You can always bring them back. So some measures of your marketing. You need to measure, again, your traffic. See how much traffic you're getting. What is your conversion rate? How many inquiries you're getting? How many sales? What is your cost per lead? And what is your cost per sale? And absolutely, what is your return on your investment? Open a spreadsheet and record it. Record all those metrics. So then you have a clear picture about how effective is your marketing. What is it that's happening? What is it that is working and what it is not working that you need to improve? Again, if you can retarget people, you can bring 97% of your website visitors back. Now, how can you implement what you've learned here today? So number one, those are some actions that you can implement in your business right now. If you haven't yet, I know many businesses have and many haven't. Install your Facebook pixel on your website. If you don't know how, I actually have a video blog, a tutorial showing you exactly how to do that. It's on my website, it's on my blog, it's free. Map out your customer journey. What it is that you're selling, what do they need to know before they buy from you? Even if you sell products, if you sell clothes, how are you going to stand out from your competition? So many other shops sell clothes, right? Maybe it's your story, maybe it's your brand, maybe what's behind what you're doing. But map the customer journey. Now, create content that educates your market about your business, about the solution that you offer to them. Create a lead magnet if you don't have one yet, so you can grow your database and grow your business exponentially. And create your ads. Now, if you'd like, you can go to my website later, not right now. You can ask me questions now. You can download my free guide, which is 10 steps to profitable Facebook ads, which will walk you through each step a bit more detailed, and you can see exactly how you can start setting up your ads. And I'd like to thank you very much for coming here today and joining me. And if you want to connect with me online, you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Although I have to say I'm not big on LinkedIn. I actually love Instagram. Hello.
Hi, thank you so much. That was incredible. I have so many notes right now. That was great. Yes.
Right.
So please, everyone, put in your questions in the chat box. I'll put them in the Q&A box, which you can find at the bottom. I do have a couple of questions from Imran, if you're okay to answer them, Fernanda.
Yeah, of course.
Perfect. Well, they've said, how do we know which audience in ads is needing content, a lead magnet, or direct sales offer? How can we, or can we even segregate?
Yes, you know the following. If you are going to target a cold audience, so if you're going to go to Facebook and select an audience that theoretically doesn't know you. So if you're not targeting your followers, your subscribers, your website visitors, you're targeting a cold audience. Okay, so in that case, you use content. If once people click on your content, then you can start creating custom audiences and retargeting them with your freebie, and then you can retarget them again with your offer.
And that's when those personas that you've created come in handy, right? So you can begin to kind of retarget them in a more specific way.
Yes, that's correct.
He's also asked the question, I'm a first-time writer, congratulations, and I've written an ebook. I was thinking of putting up an FB ad and give away 1 chapter free download as a lead magnet to get emails, and then send them 1 more content email and then pitch them the full ebook in emails. Do you think this is a good strategy?
That's brilliant. Yes, I have seen people, I know people who has done that, and that's absolutely brilliant. That's a great lead magnet. In fact, I always tell people, if it's not always possible, but if you can actually extract a small piece of your own service and give that initial step for free, that's actually the best lead magnet you can have, because that's going to lead to what you want to sell.
Beautiful. And the job's already done for you. I have a question from Rendell. They've said, can you show the measurements essential slide again, please? Well, Rendell, if you want, this video will also be available in the Victory Offices V Library. So I'm Fernanda, if you don't mind, but I'll just let everyone know, if you do want to readdress this, please understand that it will be recorded so you can see it later as well.
Don't ask me what happens, because I don't know. Well, let me see. Which slide did you want again?
It was the measurement essential slide.
Measurement essential slide. Oh my gosh. I'm looking for it. I don't know. Don't ask me what happened, but everything kind of disappeared.
And just FYI, everyone, I will be sending out a follow-up email after today. It will have all of Fernanda's information, including those links that you've just asked for, Imran.
Sorry, I removed it because I really don't know what happened to my slides out of a sudden, as soon as I touched it.
That's okay. Well, if you want, I can always include that slide in the follow-up email. Otherwise, once again, this will come up on our V Library, the Victory Office website, as all our online events do. If anyone has any other questions, now's a good time to ask them. Otherwise, I have a question, Fernanda. So I was really curious in terms of creating content that educates, especially. What if your content is entertainment? So maybe it's a blog or a podcast or a book, as Imran's just written, but it's purely for entertainment values, or a clothing line, for example, where you're not necessarily educating, you're not coaching someone. What could that education piece be?
So do you mean what you sell is entertainment?
Yeah. So I don't know, a TV show, for example.
Well, to be honest with you, entertaining content is always great, to be honest, because people love to be entertained. What you need to start thinking about is the two things, really. Number one, what people need to know to inquire, to work with you, or to buy from you, or to access your products and services. What is it that they need to know? I know that it sounds like a bit of a funny question, but when you start digging deep, you're going to start thinking about, oh yeah, that's what they need to know. They need to know that we provide a certain service or convenience or availability of shows that you cannot find elsewhere. And the second thing is, you also need to make people fall in love with your brand. So entertainment is great for that. Just entertainment itself, people start feeling very close to those brands that they feel entertained by. So sometimes you don't need to educate them so much. You're gonna have to at some point, as in, why are you better? What can they get? For example, what can they get from Netflix that they cannot get from Channel 7 or 9 or 10, right? So you get convenience. You can choose whatever you're gonna watch at any time of the day. Awesome. Yeah. That's educational. You're going to tell people about that. But you could use a lot of entertainment, because that's how we fall in love with brands.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, I really like that piece of advice. Thank you.
My pleasure.
I've just gotten a question and they've asked, thanks, Kerry, what other services do you offer in your business?
So mainly I do Facebook ads management and training, but I also offer digital marketing coaching. And I actually have a bunch of done-for-you services. It's not me. I only do Facebook ads and digital marketing coaching, but I have a team of people to do marketing for other businesses. So to build landing pages or email sequences, or to set up things.
Beautiful. All right, well, guys, thank you so much. I'm so sorry if we didn't get around to your question, but I am very conscious of Fernanda's time. If you do want to get in contact with her, obviously, please do. She's incredible. I will follow up this virtual event with all of her details in an email. If you do want to share your LinkedIn, please include that in the chat box, and I'll make sure that that's saved and you're all shared with each other so you can network after tonight. All right, well, once again, thank you so much. That was so informative. We really, really appreciate it here at Victory.
Pleasure.
And look forward to seeing everyone online again soon. All right, thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.